Hey guys, it's Liz. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we're gonna be cooking mashed potatoes with steak and string beans. And of course, you can have mashed potatoes with no gravy. I made my own gravy from scratch at home. I actually don't buy the gravies from the stores because I think they have too much sodium. So I always make my own gravy. This is the meal that we prepared today. And what I'm gonna do is walk you through the steps so you can see how I prepare this meal. So let's go ahead and get started. So over here we have the potatoes. They are peeled and clean, and I cut them into smaller pieces. The reason I cut them into smaller pieces is because they are much easier to cook like that instead of cooking whole peeled potatoes. So what we're gonna do is put this on the stove and let them cook. And while the potatoes are cooking, what we're gonna do is prepare and cook our gravy and the string beans or green beans and also the meat. For our gravy, I'm using onions, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cook these onions until they're golden brown. That's definitely the color we want. Add some butter and continue to cook. Before you add the rest of the ingredients, just be careful to make sure that your onions are not black, like you don't burn them. But this is really the color we want. Add some flour. This is all-purpose flour. So it's totally up to you how much gravy you are making. For me, I use 3 tablespoons. All right, make sure you mix everything, especially because of that flour. You don't want to get some chunks of uncooked flour in your gravy. Then we are going to go ahead and add some ginger and garlic paste. That's ginger and garlic paste all together. And continue to mix. Next, we are going to add some spices, and for me, I have to be careful the type of spices I use for my gravy, simply because I don't like my gravy to be spicy, all right? So I have to be a little bit careful with that. Add some water, a little bit, and then we're gonna add some more in a few seconds. All right, keep stirring. There is more water. Okay, and then of course these onions, will filter them out at the end, so you don't have to worry about that. So what we are going to do is let this gravy cook on low heat. So let's go ahead and start cooking the meat. I got the pot ready. All right, it's already preheated. There is the meat. All right, add your meat. Can see it's sizzling hot. I already seasoned the meat, so I didn't do that on video. Add some fresh rosemary. And that's going to give the meat really good flavor. So what I'm doing is browning this meat really, and then see, it's nicely browned. And then what I'm gonna do is put this meat in the oven and let it cook for another 15 to 20 minutes in the oven. All right, so it's nicely browned. Back to the potatoes. As you can see, they are ready. So we're going to drain them using this strainer. Let them sit here for a few minutes. And then it will be time to start mashing them. I added some garlic salt. Not a whole lot of salt, just to your liking, and then start mashing them. All right, continue to mash your potatoes, nicely cooked. And then also I'm going to add butter and some heavy cream. We are going to heat the heavy cream so that when we put it in the mashed potatoes, it's not cold. And of course, I'm adding some herbs. All right, so I got some thyme, got some rosemary, I got some chives, and when this is heated, I little wait mine to come to a boil. All right, I got some parsley, some coriander. Once it comes to a boil, then that's when I add this to the mashed potatoes. So let's continue to wait for this heavy cream to cook a little bit, just a little bit. Okay. Back to the mashed potatoes. All right, make sure it's really nicely mashed so you get your mashed potatoes to be smooth with no chunks of potatoes. All right, also don't use food processor, because if you do, you're gonna end up with like really smooth mashed potatoes, but it's really gonna be like baby food. We're not trying to cook baby food here. Add some butter. All right, that is going to give your mashed potato a very good taste. All right, continue to mash and mix. And in the meantime, our heavy cream is still cooking. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and bring the heavy cream and the herbs that we added. All right. Continue to mash. No blender, and definitely no food processor, unless that's how you like your mashed potatoes. Add some more heavy cream, and that's it as far as heavy cream. So we're going to continue to mash, and then once I'm done with this, I'll be here a few more minutes. I'll show you the final product. And voila, here it is. That's your mashed potatoes. Let's add some cilantro. All right, you can add parsley or whatever you like. Here is our gravy. See, no onions. Magic, no onions. No chunks. It's nice and smooth and hot. There is your mashed potatoes on a plate. There it is. If you don't like parsley or cilantro, you can just leave it plain. String beans or green beans. We added some green beans. And then, of course, the meat. Can't forget the meat. See how nice and juicy the meat is? There it is. Okay. Then, of course, the gravy is the last thing. Again, if you don't like gravy, you don't have to add gravy. If you like the one from the stores, that is totally fine. But I like a lot of gravy on mine. Sometimes I put gravy all over. All right, but that's the final product. And that's it for today. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Have a wonderful day.